powered name of We Are Change Connecticut, wearechangect.org, and this is Truth Talk News. A little morning rant. Get out some of this frustration that I've been feeling with the shutdown of the government, the IRS still collecting money from our checks, but if any refunds are due, they're not going to give out your refunds because of the shutdown of the government. And the IRS actually laid off 90% of its employees. Interestingly enough, the IRS is not part of our government. They're a private corporation like the Federal Reserve that prints money made out of nothing, charges us interest on every dollar printed, and that dollar that's printed becomes debt to the Federal Reserve. You tell me, if this was anything else, you'd be screaming if this was your employer doing this to you. And now all of the government workers are all, oh my God, I just got a new house and I can't pay my bills and this is going to be a big problem. Well, what about all the people that lost their homes, the 20 million Americans that lost their homes? What about people such as myself who lost, since 2008, about $140,000? My business went down. I had to sell my house, and still I'm standing. But look how much I lost. So these people can't lose? I have news for you. These non-essential government employees are exactly that. They're non-essential, which means we don't need them. Non-essential. Fat. Yes. They're all the rhetoric is out there. We have to take care of them. I have children to feed and all that. Well, what about the people outside of the government? What about Obamacare and the 28th Amendment states that Congress shall pass no law that they themselves are not subject to. Nobody knows about the 28th Amendment. Nobody knows about the Bill of Rights. Nobody cares about the Constitution. All they care about is what they're shown on television and what they're told. And it's all left-leaning socialist propaganda to bring about a one-world totalitarian government run through the United Nations and administered through the United Nations, and all of these great think tanks that give us all this wonderful progress that we call progress here in America. Keep us in war. Military contractors are furloughing people because of this, because they're not getting their payments. It just shows you how big and wasteful and tremendous our government is. We don't need to spend all this money on the military. It's insane. We spend more money than most of the world combined. Certainly more than anyone individually. 50% of the military spending in the world is done by the United States. We have bases overseas that are targeted by terrorists because they don't want us there. How would you like it if Russia just started putting bases here in America? They already got some 300,000 troops, some foreign troops on our soil, training. Doesn't it bother you? Would it bother you if you had a military base from a foreign country on your corner? How would you feel about that? And that they would come and knock down your door because they think that there might be some terrorist activity. The Department of Homeland Security is already coming down this road, illegally searching homes during the Boston bombing. Katrina taking guns away. These are all beta tests to see how much they can get away with, the government. Going against the Constitution, away from the Constitution. This country has become a cesspool. And I'm sick of it. Obamacare. Mandate. Authoritarian socialism. The United Nations. Gun treaty signed by that traitor Kerry. Skull and bones scum. Wake up, man. This country is falling apart at the seams, and they want everyone to feel bad for these government employees. Fire them. They're non-essential. We don't need them. I know it's going to increase for a short time. It would increase. There'd be a big problem. A big problem because these people would be out of work, and obviously so many people are out of work. It's like a catch-22. They got it designed so beautifully so that if you can't lay these people off, you can't shrink the government because the economy is so poor. Well, we wouldn't need as much money to run the government if we shrunk the government. And guess what? All of the entrepreneurs that are out there now will not fear the government taking things from them, collectivizing through the FDA, EPA, oh my God, all of these alphabet soup regulatory agencies that are destroying this country. For the insiders, all the insiders at the top and those big insider corporations, they all do fine. But I'll tell you this, the American people are fed up. It's time to take back our republic. As written in the Declaration of Independence, if our country, our government, ever becomes corrupt and tyrannical and overstepping its bounds, we, as Americans, have the right, honor, and duty to abolish the government and start over. And hell, we're coming close to that point. We will not give up our guns. We will not give up our rights. We will not give up our religion in favor of a religion that's state-sanctioned like Islam. I mean, wake up, everybody. Don't you see what's going on? This is the New World Order. It's not new, and it's not order. It's the death knell of America. Obama himself said, we're going to bring America down to size with the rest of the world. He said it himself, and you voted for him. He's a communist. There are communist forces for 60 years that have infiltrated our government via the education system, via people like Bill Ayers from the Weather Underground, blows up the Capitol and all this. Now he's a big shot in Democom politics. Groomed Barack Obama, who did his internship in college at Columbia at the Council on Foreign Relations. Come on. These insiders are stealing the wealth of you and I, leaving us in poverty, and making us feel bad for the government unessential employees that were furloughed. There's going to be some hard choices to make and some painful decisions. But implementing Obamacare, 16,000 more IRS, keeping the government as big as it is, will be far more painful than laying off, firing all of these non-essential employees permanently, shrinking our government, and starting anew. Don't be sheeple, people. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Go to wearechangect.org. I'm Howard Nima. Thank you for watching Truth Talk News, where news the mainstream media ignores is the top story. For more truth, subscribe to Freedom First Films on YouTube and Truth Talk News on livestream.com.